Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Friday, August 23rd, 2023. No, 25, August 25th, 2023. Man, my name's Jeremy. This is my first cup. Who is here? I see a number of you in here. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Jenny. And the rest of you. I had a thought as I woke up that the people who have stuck around with this show as we went from 5 days to one day are really, they're all my friends. Doesn't mean I can't make new friends. Doesn't mean some of you might pop in from time to time around, especially when the computer does annoying things like that. At some point, I'm going to have to figure this out because it is this computer. It's not the internet. I don't know what to do. It's almost like I'm asking this crummy old computer to do too much. So what I think I'm going to have to do is start using the other computer. But how many episodes have I done this with this computer? I'm in a habit. I have a routine. How do I break that routine? Good morning, Dennis. Dennis says we are live with Central Vermont's #1 school owner. Woo. Well, I appreciate that sentiment. I wouldn't say I'm the #1 yet, but I'll get there. Of course, Dennis is referencing my martial arts school, which opened on Wednesday and had a lot of fun. Went really well. I was really pumped. Every Wednesday thing. Oh, come on, don't be. What would happen there? Good morning, Mel. Well, I hope you're all well. Last time I talked to you, I was away. I was in Florida at an event. I am now home, of course. And you might be able to hear it in my voice. A little bit sick. I picked up an illness last week. And when did that happen? It's been a week. I've been ill for a week. I'm not usually ill this long, but it's just stuffiness. It's congestion at this point, and I'm just trying to sleep as much as I can. Given as busy as I am, is not an easy thing to do. Jenny says it's Matt's birthday, her husband Matt's birthday today. Happy birthday to Matt. I always forget to mention birthdays, but somehow I didn't forget Matt's. Ha! Well, I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a great week since I saw you last. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend upcoming. I've got a lot of work going on. When I came back from this event, as you might imagine, I had a whole bunch of ideas. And actually, the biggest thing on my list today is to go through those ideas and schedule them, plan them, put them on my lists, and make sure that there's time for them to get done, because a lot of them are great. Some of them aren't a big deal. Some of them are. So I'm looking forward to making this happen. What am I doing this weekend? There are rumors that it might not rain on Sunday, which I know is an absolute shocker given the weather we've had this summer. And if so, I'm going to spend as much time cleaning up the yard as possible, because it doesn't look great. And it makes me sad to look outside and see the landscaper came on Wednesday, but it had been a month. So it doesn't look good. So I'm probably going to remow it. And I spent an hour out with the weed whacker yesterday, and there were spots that had not been trimmed in over a month. So we're getting there. Here it is, nearly September, and finally getting the yard in order. Well, yesterday, Andrew and I knew would catch some attention, and it has. And we titled it, "Is It Time to Let Bruce Lee Go?" And I hope that you'll all check it out, because I think it's a very important question. And it's an important question for a number of reasons. We talk about them in the episode. What I always find disappointing when we do an episode like this is that people will respond simply to the title of the episode. They won't put in the time to watch or listen. And I don't want people's responses to a title. I want people's responses to what I've said. I want people to respond to the substance of the episode. We also had a team meeting last night. Great team meeting. A lot of things on track. I'm really excited. I'm excited for what we've got going on, for what we don't even have going on yet. The 3 free training days / Marshall Summit are rolling along. They're developing their own personality, which I find really fun. And I'm excited to see the differences between them and see how people react to them because, well, why not? I'm trying to find a more articulate way to say it, but watching how people respond to things that are done differently helps us improve. It's that iterative model, that martial arts approach that we bring into business. Let's experiment. Let's see what happens. Wow. Good morning, Nathan. Mel says it's crazy that the year is already 2/3 done. And Jenny says, oh my God, it's nearly September. And then she adds on, the next time we have a core team meeting, a free training day Mid-Atlantic will be over. This is true. And this is crazy. And Frank says, at the store I work at, we've had some of the Halloween candy out since July. Who's buying Halloween candy in July? That's nuts. Yeah. Halloween's not that far away. 2 months. Just over 2 months. You know, if you're anything like me, you look at the calendar and you look at all these things that are coming up, and you probably have a hard time being present for where you are. And that's something that I've been working on. Taking time. As most of you know, the event I was at last week was a Tony Robbins event. And he said this multiple times. I'm going to share it with you. Most people overestimate what they can get done in a year, but they underestimate what they can get done in 5, 10, 20 years. And part of what makes both of those pieces happen is it's about taking a break, rest, relax. That's kind of on one side, being fair to yourself so you don't burn out. Because if you burn out after a year because you're chasing this insane goal, 20 years doesn't happen. But it's also about being focused. If your goal is to, let's say, earn a black belt, what do most people do? Most people show up for classes. And then at some point, they don't see progress and they quit. Sadly, that is what happens. Now you've got another group of people who go to every class possible. They go to every competition possible. They practice at home hours a day, and then they burn out and they don't earn a black belt. But who earns a black belt? Showing up. That's how life works. We keep showing up, and it happens. And this is my approach to business. Keep showing up. Just keep doing it. Keep doing what? The most important things. What are the most important things? That's the challenge. Figuring out what those are. Talking about holidays and candy, and Dennis says, would it be as special if it was? I don't know. Well, we've got some jokes, and Frank's foreshadowing them a bit by saying, I hope you all don't split before Jeremy tells today's jokes. So let's tell today's joke. Shout out and thank you to Frank for all of your work and your friendship. Thank you to Josh for our theme song and to Denise for the audio. Yeah. Josh is going to be at Free Training Day Mid-Atlantic. That's pretty exciting. Most of the team have not met him. In fact, I think only, 2? I think Stacy is the only other person who's met him in person. So that's kind of exciting. And what am I doing? I'm doing this. press this button, and then I press this button. Here we go. The jokes for Fun Day Friday. It's not really the view I want. I want this view. Nope, I want this view. I'm trying to make those a little larger. There we go. Today is National Banana Split Day. I don't think I'll be celebrating with a banana split. The idea of a bunch of ice cream and sugar on top of this cold, probably not a good idea. Take two. You need to be extra nice to bananas. You know why? You don't want to hurt their peelings. Why was the banana so upset? Someone mistook him for a plantain. Fried plantain, pan-fried plantain, one of the tastiest things in the world. You know where it's extra tasty? Mexican food. Get yourself some plantains at the store, pan fry them in butter, and then chop them up. Well, you got to cut them up before you fry them, but chop them up and throw them in anything, nachos, tacos. Trust me. Why did the banana have to go to the hair salon? Because she had split ends. Why do bananas never get lonely? Because they hang out in bunches. If a crocodile makes shoes, what does a banana make? Slippers. What do you call a charismatic banana? A banana smoothie. I'm watching Suits, speaking of charisma. Any of you watching Suits? Holy cow, that is a show full of charisma. And all I can think, like every other scene, is that person's going to be the Queen of England someday. Kind of crazy. Did you know that banana peel is supposed to be put under the Controlled Substance Act? It can give you bad trips. Did you know bananas generate enough radiation that they will be picked up on a Geiger counter? Why did the banana fail his driving test? He kept peeling out. Why did the man lose his job in a fruit packing firm? He kept throwing the bent bananas away. What did the green banana think about the ripe banana? He was green with envy. Bananas have like a 3-day window where they're edible, in my opinion. I don't like green bananas, and I definitely don't like them when they're brown and spotted and all squishy. What do you call the period of time between slipping on a banana and landing on your butt? A banana-second. How does a banana answer the phone? Yellow. When will the trail mix have enough money to buy a map? After the banana chips in. Dried banana is disgusting. Why did the kid keep falling off his bike? It had a banana seat. Has any bike had a banana seat since like 1960? Is that a thing that ever happens anymore? Well, there's probably like some retro bikes that do that. I don't think I've ever ridden a bike with a banana seat. Take care, Andy. Mel says yes. I don't know what she's saying yes to, but she says yes. Ah, those were good. So going back to my comment about plantains. So if you don't know, plantains are in kind of the origin of bananas. Not quite, but sort of. See, if you don't know, bananas have been not genetically modified, but kind of human engineered. They've been selected over decades to be far sweeter than they used to be. And that's good. They're tasty, but there's a ton of sugar in there. And, fruit isn't bad for you, but if you eat a lot of fruit, then, there's a lot of calories there. But plantains swap a lot of that sugar for fiber, which you kind of do need and is pretty good for you. And I have periodically, the grocery store will have really deep discounts on plantains. And given that plantains are coming from these weird places in tropical areas, I can't back this up with any kind of evidence, but I'm guessing they're less, there's fewer pesticides on them and everything. and they've got to peel. And so there's less of that that's going to make it through to the fruit and everything. But I'll peel those up and freeze them. I've got a bunch of plantains in the chest freezer right now. And I'll take one out and chop it up and throw it in the pan and fry it. And it's just super good. Yeah, tasty. Oh, Mel says yes to watching Suits. I'm on season 3 and it's so good. And it reminds me. So here's something you all don't know about me. In college, well, in high school, I did debate. And if you know me well, it will not surprise you to know that I had some natural talent for arguing and forming constructive arguments in that context. Won my school their first ever debate trophy. And that was really only freshman year because I went on to do other things as the team fell apart and went to college. And one of my classes senior year was it trial advocacy? Yeah, I think it was trial advocacy. It was a kind of and I did really well and I really enjoyed it. And it was meant to be 2 semesters and it was taught by 2 practicing attorneys. And I didn't go on to the second semester because my second semester was my last semester of senior year. And I was so far ahead on credits that I just didn't. I took 2 actual classes and just hung out. It was great. And the teachers, the attorneys were really sad because they're like, but next semester is when we do the mock trial stuff. I was like, yeah, but last semester, senior year, I want to hang out. And so now watching Suits, it kind of reminds me, like I have that sort of legal mind. What many of you don't know, because I don't talk about this, but the reason I moved to Vermont was my college girlfriend wanted to attend law, and she would come home and, would talk to me about some of the things that were going on. And I'd say, so are you like, do you have to do this, this, and this? She's like, how do you know this? And you're not even in class. I was like, I don't know. It's just how my brain works. I once, for my now deceased father's house in Maine, when he moved to Ireland and he was going to rent it out, I wrote the lease and I showed it to my attorney. I said, can I just get your thumbs up on this, that this is done well? He said, you're cheating on me. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, who did you have write this? I said, I wrote this. He's like, there's no. So I have no desire to go to law school, but I think I could handle being an attorney. I don't need that stress though. So I pretend I play one on TV. And here we are. We've done our jokes, and let's see where the quotes bring us today. Oh, here's a question for you all, and I'd love for you to drop this in the chat. We're talking about, for Marshall Summit, we're talking about how we're going to do a live first cup. We did last year. If you came to Marshall Summit last year, we did a live first cup on Saturday, and it went great. We might need to make that earlier. I don't know. We're trying to figure that stuff out. So here's the question. And this is a question not just for those of you who are here now, but those of you who might be watching or listening later. It would really help me to know 2 things. And you can comment on this episode or tell me, reach out to me in some way. 2 questions. Are you going to be at Marshall Summit? There's number 1. Because if you're going to be there, I can get you to come to this live episode. It's number 1. Number 2, what sort of time frame would work? We do this show Fridays at 6:30. That would probably be on Saturday. When we did it last time. Could we do it at 6? If we did it at 6, how many of you would be there? And the reason I ask that is that Saturday morning is getting stuffed. What we're trying to do, if you were there last year, you know that we left too small of a window to get everybody in the door because we grew by huge amounts. And so we're trying to do some things to spread that out and make sure everybody gets in the door and can get changed and everything in time. So let me know that. That would be really helpful to me. Thank you. All right. And back to our quotes. We're probably going to go long today. I'm cool with that. I know last time we didn't because I was half dead. Yep, kept the right window. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. Mahatma Gandhi. You know, this is something that I'm working on, and I'll catch people on too. When we say I am, it matters. I am this. I'm trying not to say I am sick. I don't identify as being sick. I'm experiencing an illness. Now, does that sound like a trivial and pretentious difference? Absolutely. But it's more substantive than that. When we say I am, we're programming ourselves. And I know that sounds all woo-woo and everything, but you can do the research. There is psychology and there are brain scan studies that back this stuff up. That the more often you say, the more often you're conditioning your brain to be that thing. So if it's something that you're trying to stop being, it's counterproductive. Keep that in mind. Jenny says, hotel breakfast was served close to the time we needed to head to FTD-NE last year. Is that still a factor as well? It is, but the coffee machine is there pretty much 24/7. So I would confirm it would be. And Mel says, your brain believes what you tell it. That is so true. Yes. Let's pour a little more coffee. So here's something I went looking for this morning. So I made a French press, and I know that by the time I finish this up, the coffee's not as warm as I would like it. So I went looking for an insulated French press. Tons of options, but they're all stainless steel. And I don't know if you've ever noticed metal flavor of coffee. And it's frustrating. I like the taste of coffee. I try of the French press, but yeah, I guess I can get behind that. There's already metal in there. I found a neoprene sleeve for $15. Nah. The computer's losing its mind right now. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Once again, Gandhi. We've talked about this concept, and it's one of those that people often push back on when I talk about it publicly. All we can really change is ourselves. All we can affect is ourselves. If you want to change what is around you, you have to start by doing what you can with yourself. If you want to be a better person, if you find that you are a crummy person and you're surrounded by crummy people, the first thing you can do is extract yourself from those crummy people. You can't change them. You can ask them to change. You can encourage them to change, but they're changing because they want. Man, this thing is struggling. What if I do this? What if I take that one out? I had a number of client calls yesterday. And in talking with two of them, we came back to the famous question, the why question. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Why aren't you doing this? Maybe I should just start doing my phone. No, because then the tablet coming. I'll tell you about that in just a moment because I've got a theory. we, just as I said before, we overestimate what we can do in a year. It has to do with what we can do for ourselves. If you saw my daily practices, my daily habits, the things that I'm doing, and not all of them are every day. I started a new one when I was in Florida. I wanted to start doing morning workouts, but that's inconvenient. It's, the idea of getting up and leaving and everything. It's a pain. So what do? I do some burpees. I started with 10. Today I started with 11. And I'm going to do 11 until 11 is not a big deal. And then I'll do 12, and then I'll do 13. And eventually I'll get up to doing, 20, 30 burpees. There's a limit, and I'll probably hold there. But it's something, and it's better than nothing. You can do a lot by doing a little very often. Like that. You can do a lot. You can accomplish a lot by doing a little very often. Nobody else has that quote. We should put that on a shirt. Somebody look that up for me and let me know. All right. And our last quote today, again from Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Doesn't mean that you max out your credit cards and have a bonfire with your personal belongings. It means you find joy. It means you do things you enjoy. One of the best tests, I believe, if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness tomorrow, well, let's say today, if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness and you had a year, how would you live? 2 years, 5 years? Well, we all have a terminal illness. It's called life. We're all going to die. We're not going to be here indefinitely. So if we recognize that, what are we doing? What are we doing that we really enjoy? Do we love what we're doing? I don't know. It's a good question. But it's also a very worthwhile question. My life would not be that different. There are very few things I would stop doing. There's one client. That was something I came to the realization of while I was in Florida. There are a couple of moves I got to make to cover that, but that's probably going to happen. We'll see. So, alrighty. I hope you have a fantastic day, a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a great week next week. I will talk to some of you and maybe even see some of you. I hope that you'll consider some of the things that we talked about today. I hope that you'll find something in yourself that you can point. Here's a place I could get better, because you deserve both. And remember, if you want to support us, lots of ways you can do it. You can use the code FirstCup15, buy something at the store, share episode. That's not a good sentence, but you know what I mean. We're always looking for more help. If there's something that you would like to work on for and with me, would love to hear from you. Let me know, jeremy@whistlekick.com. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming by, and I will see you, if not sooner, next week. Take care, everybody. Peace.